What's up everybody, I'm Mildgenix and it's been a while for one of these. So what better thing to do than go over 5 games that were banned in the US or pretty much everywhere. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more, give it a thumbs up, and click the bell for notifications so you know when I'm live. With that said, let's get the intro over with so we can get into the video. So this first one is called Thrill Kill. In August of 1998, gaming juggernaut Electronic Arts purchased large swaths of Virgin Interactive, acquiring not just an extensive back catalog of games, but also the rights to yet to be released titles, such as the PlayStation title Thrill Kill, an extraordinarily violent and gory fighting game in the vein of Mortal Kombat, which we love, and Street Fighter, which we love. Thrill Kill was even more violent and gory, which is hard to believe considering how gnarly Mortal Kombat was. Street Fighter not so much, but I mean Mortal Kombat, especially because Mortal Kombat came out in 1992, and it was unfreaking believable, especially in the gore factory with fatalities. Everybody's seen them. And I mean, you look at it today, a whole new world. You know what I'm saying? Hit it, Jasmine.
A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew.
It pitted contestants sent to hell against one another, fighting for the right to return to Earth by employing strategies like ripping off an opponent's arm and beating them with it. I mean, is there any other way to do it? For such content, Thrill Kill earned an AO, which is basically the rating of adults only, which in this list that we're not going to cover is something that doesn't exist anymore. Don't know if you knew that, but AO doesn't exist for any games anymore. They actually took away because of some other reasons that you can look up for yourself, but just know there is no more AO ratings. Only confirmed EA's decision to pull the game from the release schedule. We have to be responsible, so this is what EA came out saying. We have to be responsible for the content that we make available to the marketplace, said Pat Becker, EA Director of Corporate Communications. We felt that this was not the kind of title we wanted to see in the market. Now, this game is absolutely insane. For 1998, I mean, they say it was pretty brutal. I mean, worse than Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Again, you can't really pit it against Street Fighter. The violence wasn't that gory, I guess you could say, because Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, those are in their different realms. I mean, even if they made a Street Fighter today, it wouldn't be nothing like what Mortal Kombat is today with the gore. Is there a game gorier than Mortal Kombat? Show some clips.
Fatality.
You see what I'm saying? They definitely had some super creative characters in this one, and I'd love to see a remake of this. I think it would be very, very cool. Make it happen, EA. Make it happen. Alright, so this next one is called Custers Revenge. If you thought the first one was bad, well, trust me, this is probably the worst one on the list. How this was a thing, how this was allowed to be a thing, especially for the era, especially for the time. 1982, this was, well, I don't think allowed to come out, or, well, we're gonna read about it, but this one, I mean, if they made this game today, they would burn down the gaming company responsible. Honestly, it's insane that this was a thing. Just wait till you hear this one. So here we go. Despite pixelated typical for 1982 graphics, Custers Revenge didn't leave much to the imagination. The player controlled real-life 19th century military leader General George Custer, who is naked, by the way, in this game. So, parental advisory, throw it in, for lack of better words, hard on, and tries to rape Native American women. That's right. You know, seriously, turn the volume up. It doesn't really matter because you actually heard me correctly. I mean, the fact that this is a thing is unfreaking believable. 2020 aside, right? You know, a lot of people are learning there's a lot of bad things out there. But, I mean, in 1982, you guys didn't realize that this was a really stupid idea? The plot of the game is to be a guy trying to rape a Native American woman? It should never have been a thing. Was rape not bad in 1982? Somebody who was born in 1982, please comment below. This is insanity. It was built for play on consoles made by Atari, which sued Custers Revenge manufacturer Mystique to keep the game from hitting the stores. Good on you, Atari. Good on you. But Mystique Games, what the were you thinking? You got a guy, like, you know what? I have a fantastic idea for a game. Oh yeah? What's that, Charles? Well, Frank, what about a game where a man rapes a woman? Well, Frank, I gotta be frank with you. I don't think that's a good idea. Okay, well, what about this? What if it's a real life guy, like General George Custer, okay? Just keep in mind, real guy. And he rapes Native American women. Oh, okay, Frank. Well, that sounds a lot better. Let's do it. Okay, let's get it in process and we'll get it out. You know what, Frank? You're wrong, Frank. It shouldn't have happened. In some places, such as Oklahoma City, it was available only at adult bookstores. Oklahoma City's city council also passed a resolution that called Custers Revenge distasteful and not in the best interests of the community. It's probably not in the best interest for the Native American community. Let's be honest. Or any woman never. This is the craziest thing. I can't believe this was a game. While no government ever technically banned the game, Custers Revenge manufacturer responded to the negative attention by voluntarily ending production on the title. Now, of course, there's a video from it. I'm torn whether or not to show it. I don't know if I want to show it. I don't know if I should show it or even give it the like. So I'm not going to. You guys can look it up on your own. I'll put the link down there. You guys can look at it. I'm not going to put it in my video. I can't bring myself to putting that trash in here. I think it's ridiculous that it was a thing. Mystique, there's a reason you guys aren't making games anymore. Cha-cha-cha. But anyways, I mean, just from the description, I mean, I think you guys got it. Right? Alright, after that horrible monstrosity of a video game, what better way to keep the list going than a game called Baby Shaker? What is it with people wanting to hurt children? I mean, everybody, y'all need Jesus. I'm not a God-fearing man by any means, but gosh dang it, y'all need Jesus. You do! This is the second list now where there's been a freaking game that harming a child. What's wrong with y'all? And shame on you if you're playing them. But this one's called Baby Shaker. By and large, smartphone games are simple, straightforward, right? The objective of Angry Birds is easy and understanding. You pull, you shoot, you knock down stuff. Flappy Bird, pretty awesome and very, very simple. Click, 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 ba-dang, ba-dang. You get to 10, you get pissed. You get it off, you go to Instagram, and you come back to Flappy Bird, yet again to play. But in this game, Baby Shaker, a picture of a baby appears on the screen, and it cries and shrieks, as babies do. They cry. As a father of two, I've been through it twice. They cry. Part of life. Sometimes I cry. The player shakes their phone until the baby stops crying, and 2 red X's appear over the baby's eyes. And why are there 2 X's over its eyes? Well, I think we all know, don't we? So in the last list, we had a baby that you had to be that tries to kill itself while somebody else plays the father that tries to keep the baby from killing itself. And then this one is a phone app that you just shake your phone until the baby dies. Soon after Baby Shaker hit Apple's App Store, how in the... Is there no process to games? I guess 2009 is when it came out, so there probably wasn't as much maybe as there is now. I guess you learn from your mistakes, but still you think you would have had something, right? I mean, Apple, you gotta be more on top of your stuff, y'all. So as soon as it hit the stores in 2009, the protests began. For example, Patrick Donahue of the Sarah Jane Foundation, a pediatric brain injury awareness group, wrote a pediatric brain injury awareness group wrote a letter to Apple decrying how the game made a joke out of a child being shaken up and or child abuse again. I'm not I have a brain injury. Apple quickly pulled the game. Plus, somebody they paid for it. I mean, there's people, a freaking dollar To shake your phone? You gotta be out of your mind. I mean, I'm done with this one. I can't anymore. Alright, now this next one I find very funny that it was banned, or isn't anymore, but was. How could it possibly be banned ever? I mean, the person that banned this game, if he were to be alive today and see where games have become or what have, let's start that over, shall we? If they were to see what games have become now, I feel like they would be shitting a brick, as they say. Because this one is kind of funny how this was banned at some point. It's called Death Race. Now, compared to today's video games, like I was saying, it's absolutely nothing. I mean, it looks like Pong. So this was in 1976. Arcade game Death Race seems innocuous and quaint. Small, white gremlins run around a black background, while with a steering wheel mounted on the cabinet, so I'm guessing this was an arcade game, players controlled a car. When the player ran over a gremlin, the game would let out an eerie scream, and the gremlin was replaced with a tombstone. I mean, it doesn't sound that bad. In other words, it was a driving game where the objective was to nail pedestrians. Sounds like Grand Theft Auto. Pretty much 1 through now. Although this was 1976, a little bit different times. Game creator Exidy, we'll call it Exidy, E-X-I-D-Y, reportedly developed Death Race with the working title Pedestrian. I think they should have went with Pedestrian. Kind of would have flown under the radar, as Death Race kind of seems like you're going to get in trouble because it's called Death Race. With Death Race cabinets starting to show up in arcades, bars, restaurants, and amusement parks, it became the center of one of the very first video game controversies. A local politician in Spokane, Washington, quoted Dr. Gerald Dreesen of the National Safety Council, who called the game gross. That's what I'm saying, dude. I mean, just think of what it has become. So, after receiving complaints, an amusement park in Illinois removed the game from an arcade, while a distributor in Chicago stopped offering the game, and owners of arcades and other businesses simply refused to buy or rent a Death Race cabinet. Of course, in some places, it had the opposite effect. Exidy moved more than 1,000 machines, at least doubling its sales in figures. Because it said it's one of the first video game controversies, I think with this game, a lot of people probably bought them, which is so smart. Could you imagine owning that cabinet right now? You know how much money that'd be worth? You know how much money that would be worth? It'd be freaking insane. It's amazing that this was what people thought was just probably gross and disgusting, and I can't believe they made this a game. It's pretty funny that this was considered just the most intense, disgusting thing ever. But anyways, I mean, how it was banned, who knows. Alright, and for the final one. Oh, the final one, we love it. It's not necessarily a video game, a singular video game. It's more about pretty much every video game in none other than Marshfield, Massachusetts. So in the early years of video games, produced a lot of controversies, as we saw from the last one, which pretty much shouldn't have been one. So much so that one town decided it didn't want any games at all. In 1982, residents of Marshfield, Massachusetts decided that arcade games qualified as coin-operated amusement devices. That's what they are. It's a coin-operated fun machine. What else is it? Is that a bad thing? Well, tell me why that's a bad thing. It seems like Marshfield, Massachusetts is the home of none other than the almighty Karen. The birthplace of the haircut, the minivan. The Can I Speak to the Manager? This had to have been the birthplace. The town had banded together. So one Karen got upset and was like, you know what? We need to ban all these video games. These video games are so bad for our kids. I'm glad. The result of this, a ban on all public video game cabinets. Businesses that wanted to offer video games challenged the ruling. The Supreme Court upheld the ban. 2 more town-wide votes over the years affirmed the ruling. In 2014, the law was taken away. Hey, there's no arcade games in 2014. I know they're kind of making a comeback now, with kind of like bar arcades, which is so dope. But I mean, besides Chuck E. Cheese, Dave & Buster's, those are the only ones that I know of here in California. We don't really have any, I don't think. At least no main, just like plain arcades anyways. But I mean, you were still trying to fight for it in like 2013. I respect the will. I respect the heart. I respect you who tried. But I mean, you ever heard of an Xbox, PlayStation, Wii, Nintendo, PC? Just saying. Figure it out. Crazy, Karen, that you would go through all the trouble to break all the hopes and dreams of every small little child in Marshfield, Massachusetts. So, thank you to all the Karens of the world. I think I found your home birthplace. Thanks a lot, Karen. Thanks a lot. Well, that does it for today's video. Thank you guys so much as always. Tell your mama, tell your dad, tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your grandma, tell your grandpa. Tell everybody you know. Be sure to hit that sub button below. And as always, check out some other videos. I'm Myogenics. Thank you guys for always being here. And we'll see you next time.